Hey guys, so we're just gonna watch a couple little things that Blizzard put out. This one came out like 2 weeks ago, and then the other one came out like 2 days ago. They're just little things for Burning Crusade, little stories, not stories, but just the lore behind certain things. Like this one's the Burning Legion, the other one's the Dark Portal. If you play World of Warcraft, you know the lore behind it. But for people who don't know the lore, who might be watching this and may have just started or something like that, here's little things to just kind of help you along with the lore. So this is the Burning Legion, which is by far has been one of the biggest threats to Azeroth as a whole and just the entirety of the Warcraft universe. With Sargeras though up at the partying it up with Illidan and the other Titans of the seat of the Pantheon, the Burning Legion's just kind of there now. Like it's kind of disbanded, but I'm sure there are still demons who are loyal to Sargeras and wanting to carry out the plan that Sargeras had. So, anyways, we will get right into this. So, here we go.
Sargeras believed the only way to spare the universe from the Void Lords was to purge it of all life. The fallen Titan and his army set forth upon their first planet, extinguishing entire species without mercy. As news of the devastation spread, Sargeras was confronted by his former student, Agramar. When Agramar's words would not sway the Legion's leader, swords were drawn. Blow after blow, the duel raged between the powerful Titans until their weapons shattered. Wounded, Agramar returned to the Pantheon to report on Sargeras' betrayal and the coming war. As the Pantheon prepared to fight back, the other Titans pleaded with Sargeras to stand down. Sargeras refused, attacked Agramar, and charged his demons forward. The Burning Legion's might was unmatched, and it consumed the Pantheon in an apocalyptic fellstorm. Furthering his ambition, the victorious Sargeras visited three leaders of the Eridar, promising them power and knowledge in exchange for loyalty. Archimonde and Kil'jaeden joined the Legion. The third, Velen, saw the horrors ahead and fled with his people, who would become known as the Draenei. Sargeras and the Burning Legion made chase, hunting down the exiles and setting their sights on Azeroth.
So that was World of Warcraft, the Burning Legion, as in the group in a nutshell. Obviously, they kind of hit the most important points, um, but the Titans actually fought Sargeras to kind of bring him back to reality, essentially, because he had gone crazy. And he slayed him. He murdered him. We know that they survived, and their souls kind of dispersed throughout. But Sargeras felt like he was doing the universe a favor by going around and destroying these planets, so that way they can't be corrupted by the void, which is basically the void is all consuming. It's just like H.P. Lovecraft void, where it's all consuming. Like nothing can stand against it. So when the void wants to consume something, the best thing to do is get rid of said thing that the void wants to consume. So if there's nothing for the void to consume, then the void can't consume it and take over. Um, but the void also can corrupt. So Azeroth, apparently being the most powerful Titan, the world soul, um, if Azeroth's world soul fell under the hands of the void, there would be literally nothing that could stop it. Azeroth alone is already the most powerful of the Titan world souls, but then if the void got a hold of it and corrupted it and made it even more powerful, yeah, there's no magic weapon, no spell, no incantation, no realm, nothing that we would be able to do to stop Azeroth from destroying everything. Um, I mean, really think about it. Sargeras, we didn't even defeat him. He kind of got sealed up by his brothers and sisters at the seat of the Pantheon where he's imprisoned. So you can't really beat a Titan like that. I mean, you can say, Brock Scar, wounded him with the blade of, the axe of Cenarius, but that's really much it. I mean, then again, we did take down, um, I don't like using the word because of just, but Argus. We took down Argus, and for people who know who I'm talking about, the name Argus gives them a freaking insta boner. They're like, oh, Argus. I'm not saying it was Argus, but it was Argus. We took down Argus, but we did have the help of the Pantheon, so you can kill. I guess we can kill Titans as long as we have the help of Titans. So if it was just us versus Sargeras, he would just annihilate us. He was the strongest of the Pantheon. That's why they chose him to be their defender, because he was the strongest. And then after he became corrupt, he became even stronger. But anyways, we are going to the next one, the Dark Portal. So here we go with the Dark Portal.
On Draenor, the Burning Legion found agents in the Orcish Horde, manipulating them to conquer the planet. The Horde bled their prisoners' life essence in order to power a colossal portal. And through this passage, the invasion of Azeroth began. The First and Second War wrought devastation across the world. The Alliance eventually pushed the Horde back and attempted to destroy the Gateway. In an enormous explosion, their plan backfired, ripping a tear in reality and further linking their worlds together. 2 years after the Second War, the shaman Ner'zhul ordered the orcs on Draenor through this tear to gather artifacts, including the skull of Gul'dan. Ner'zhul used their powers to open countless portals to other worlds. Overwhelmed by the magical strain, Draenor shattered, becoming Outland. Before Draenor was torn apart, the Alliance sent an expedition through the rift led by some of its greatest heroes. To spare Azeroth from destruction, they severed the portal between worlds. An act of sacrifice that trapped the heroes in the broken world now known as Outland. And further.
All right, sorry, had to check the and all that. But yeah, so yeah, Gul'dan was in charge of the whole invasion. He set it up. They managed to um, get their way through there by what they said, empowering the portal with people. So they just took Draenei and whatever they could find essentially, and some women, children, and they used their essence, their souls, their spirits, their power to power up this portal to go through. Obviously, killing them in the process. So there's a lot of sacrifices to uh, get through this portal just to power it up. Um, yeah, Ner'zhul, and this is why I got pissed off with Warlords of Draenor. Ner'zhul, he is the man who opened so many portals. He is the one. He is the reason why Draenor became Outland, because he was opening so many portals, which was difficult enough. But he essentially tore the planet apart because the planet was just becoming unstable due to all these portals opening up. And in Warlords of Draenor, you take him out in a 5-man dungeon. But that's why it's like they did my man dirty. He's one of the most influential and important orcs in the series, and they did my man dirty by taking him out in a 5-man dungeon. Outland is Outland because of him. So they did him dirty, in my opinion. Yeah, the Skull of Gul'dan. Um, Gul'dan came to Azeroth. He died in the Tomb of Sargeras. He was out there looking for the Eye of Sargeras, which was supposed to give him immense power. And then he died. He was murdered by the demons there. Um, but in order to power the portal a second time, items were needed in order to power it to get back there. Um, I saw my peeps, Daddy Khadgar. So we have Khadgar, who was a lot younger. He was kind of cursed, and he's actually really young, but he was cursed and not really. I mean, you can kind of consider it cursed, but he was magically aged. So he was like a young boy or teenager, and he was now, you know, the form of like a 40, 50-year-old man. So now he's still actually only probably he's most likely in his 40s at this point. But then we have Torellian and Illyria, um, and they pretty much sacrifice themselves in a sense of they destroyed the portal so that no one else could go through it. But in doing so, they kind of trapped themselves on Outland as it was like being destroyed and shit. So we know that they're fine. They come back, but yeah. So the Dark Portal, um, big part of the Warcraft universe. These people are some of the most important people in the Warcraft universe. Like I said, Torellian, Illyria, Khadgar, they all sacrificed themselves their lives to destroy this portal, make sure the orcs can't get across again, and to make sure nothing else happens. Um, my man Ner'zhul, but like I said, one of the most important pivotal orcs in the story. You know, the man who turned Outland into Outland, turned Draenor into Outland, opened so many freaking portals that it just tore the planet apart. Except for a small part of Netherstorm, which is it was encased in like the dome. It was kind of preserved. Um, so you can go there and kind of see what the land looked like before it was destroyed and became Netherstorm. It's really cool looking. You know, if they had plans on making it in Draenor, Warlords of Draenor, but they're like, oh well, you know, we just don't see how it would fit into the story. Doesn't matter if it fits into the story. Just give it to us. Um, yeah, but Farallon, which was the Netherstorm's original name, so every part of the planet was affected. Um, like Zangamarsh was pretty much underwater, but now not underwater. Nagrand has actually pretty much relatively stayed the same, except for parts of the planet blasted into the atmosphere. So when you go to Nagrand, you see the floating island and stuff. Um, Obviously, Hellfire Peninsula hugely changed. Um, that was Tadon Jungle, and so it's completely overhauled. We still have like the seat of Kil'jaeden or Throne of Kil'jaeden, but yeah, there's no part of the planet that pretty much went unscathed. But in Netherstorm or Farallon, the biodomes kind of give you a little inside peek of what it looked like. It was a verdant forest paradise essentially. Um, Lots of green, lots of trees, lots of you know flora and fauna. So when you go inside those little ecodomes, you're stepping into old Netherstorm or Farallon. Um, but did him dirty. Did him dirty. When I first heard that we were taking him out in a 5-man dungeon, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. Ner'zhul, one of the most powerful shamans of of the Warcraft universe, one of the most powerful orcs, taken out like a bitch in a 5-man dungeon. It's kind of like with Kargath. You know, Cardiac Blade Fist. The man is badass. He cut off his freaking arm. He escaped slavery, you know, by beating his the enslaver, and he's taken out like a bitch in the as the first boss of the raid. You know, it's just I I don't like how they mistreated these characters in Warlords of Draenor. They deserve so much better. I think like the only one who actually had uh, a raid where they were the end boss was Blackhand, the Blackrock Foundry. Even Kilrog, he wasn't the last boss of Hellfire Citadel and all that. So I think Blackhand is the only one who got the respect they deserved, and rightly so. I mean, he's a complete fucking badass. Um, but they all deserve more respect than what they were given. I don't know if it was just Blizzard like, oh, well, we got to rush through it, you know, just put them here, or what they were thinking. I don't know, but they didn't give the warlords of Draenor the respect they deserve. But obviously, if you want to learn more about this stuff, all you got to do is go to the wiki. There's plenty of good information. There's plenty of good info on YouTube from people who are obviously more knowledgeable than me about the Warcraft universe. Because, I mean, that's not something I talk about as the Warcraft universe. So, anyways, yeah, if you're interested in that, just I would recommend looking up Noble. Um, Cellular does pretty good videos. Like he's done history of the Warcraft universe and stuff like that. Um, for in-game stuff, I mean, if you want to see like behind this, not really behind the scenes, but stuff that was cut and stuff like that, I would recommend Haven Games. He's no longer with us. He died a couple years ago. Um, but his account is still active, so I would say go to Haven Games, and he kind of shows the smoke and mirrors of the game itself, which is really really cool. Um, so yeah, Noble, Cellular, Haven Games, uh, check them out. WoW Wiki is always a good source if you don't feel like listening to someone talk. So yeah, plenty of resources if you want to brush up on your WoW lore. And yeah, but that's gonna do it for me. Thumbs up, thumbs down, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.